Ireland may be poised to take London's title as the financial capital of Europe now the UK has left the EU, commentators have claimed. Prime Minister Boris Johnson secured a miraculous last-minute Brexit trade deal with the EU days before the transition period was up. But, just weeks into the UK's new life outside of the bloc, Ireland's relationship with Britain is once again causing friction. The Northern Ireland Protocol was intended to prevent a hard border on the island of Ireland, and it created a metaphorical border down the Irish Sea instead. Northern Ireland will continue to follow the trade rules of the EU's single market and customs union to avoid tension with the Republic of Ireland, while supposedly still having unfettered access to the rest of the UK, as promised by the Prime Minister. However, delays for trade arriving into the region have triggered outrage and fear that Republican sentiment will start to rise, especially if Northern Ireland feels it was thrown under the bus in Brexit negotiations. As the UK is already dealing with the initial economic blip from leaving the bloc alongside the staggering costs of the pandemic, a glance at the City of London's future shows that Dublin may be poised to steal its crown as the financial hub of Europe. Speaking to the Gold Newsletter podcast, economist Maurizio Liberante explained that the capital of Ireland now has a cultural advantage over London. He said, at the moment, the Republic of Ireland has a good opportunity to pivot, to push, for the likes of financial services or the like to base themselves in Dublin. I'd say that's because the Republic of Ireland is now the only English-speaking common law country in the whole of the European Union. Obviously English-speaking alone is a huge asset in terms of having world-class universities, training people in different disciplines, and then trade with any country, even within the EU. I think they will continue to use English in all sorts of capacities. Then with the US it is obviously a major benefit. The newly elected U.S. President, Joe Biden, has previously indicated he would prioritize a future trade deal with the EU over the UK, partly due to his Irish roots. This sentiment was reflected when Washington confirmed that the president had made his first phone call to Mr. Johnson after his inauguration, but the White House removed any suggestion of a future UK-US trade deal when describing what the two world leaders had discussed.